Hello, everybody, for another installment of Sake Drinker and Friends. We're here in beautiful Napa Valley in a windy day, mid-August, and we have some new friends in the show today that are going to help us share some sake and learn about them, and just have a good time, learn a little more as we all do every day. So, if you guys want to introduce yourself.
My name is Laura. I've been on the show before. It's a pleasure to be back.
I'm familiar.
Assistant General Manager at a restaurant downtown in Napa Valley, Torque. And I'm a big fan of sake.
I'm Roberto. I'm a chef, and I love sake.
Nice.
I'm Maggie. This is my first time on the show, and I'm from Napa, but I live in France, and I am here sharing sake with you.
Beautiful. Well, we just met, if you can't tell, and it's awesome. ToutSuite is a place where you can definitely meet friends and share different things like sake. Why not? So without further ado, and that way everybody gets a little less shy and start talking a little more.
Right.
We'll try some Takeru Tsuyu, a sake that actually nobody's very familiar with as far as America goes, fairly new in the market. This one is from Yamagata, which is close to Sendai, Fukushima, and all that area in the mid-northern Japan. This is a Junmai, which is actually polished more like a Daiginjo grade. It's very promising, what I've learned about it, but why don't we dissect it real quick, give it a quick taste, and then talk about it, as you will. Who wants to start? Maggie, you want to give it a quick taste?
Okay. Light and crisp.
Light and crisp?
Very nice.
Mm-hmm. Roberto, any notes?
Well, for me, it's kind of like fruity.
Uh-huh.
A little fruity.
It's got some fruit.
Too. Yeah.
It's light. The flavor is light,
Mm-hmm.
but it's got like viscosity, which is really nice.
Absolutely. Dense is light on its feet, but what I like a lot on the back palate, it's got like a bamboo, like forest floor. You ever, if you were a koala in your past life, you chewed on bamboo? It kind of brings you back to that in a way. I don't know, not everybody can relate to that, but it's got that.
My ears as a panda. Yeah.
Exactly.
I remember.
Fun profile though, right? I mean, it's got a slight seriousness, but it starts pretty clean and crisp and.
Almost a little bit of lemon rind. It reminds me of like a Chardonnay, how it has that full body mouthfeel, but is light and acidic.
Absolutely. Why don't we try it? What do you think would be the best pairing for it? Should we try some fresh cut melon or some candied pecans? And what do you think? What's your guys' chef?
For me, I would like to have something spicy.
Mm-hmm.
Could be
Excellent.
like
The pecans
sashimi.
have a little spice in them, right? So we could try those and see what you guys think.
All right.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome.
It gets sweeter as you smell it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like opening up.
Mm-hmm.
Fun. It kind of clashes a little, but it cancels each other out in a way. Almost a little too powerful on the pecan, right? And the spice and the sweetness.
Yeah.
Is this what you would expect from this? Not knowing anything about it? Would you expect it to have this richness and profile?
Of the sake?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I expected a little depth. The area Yamagata has a rich mineral quality in the water. Unlike if you go a little northern, it's clean and smooth. This one, it's a pocket in the center of Japan where it just collects a lot of minerality. So in a way, I expected that. This is the first time I tried it, just like you guys. But I'm pleasantly surprised with the sake. So fun, right? Let's try another one. This
And
is
it's near Fukushima?
Close, but
no.
not close enough.
Okay.
Definitely not close enough if you have any concerns.
Right.
Let's not mention that word again. Next, we're going to try something. These guys are great people. They're I would like to say the Antinores of Japan. They like to push the envelope as far as techniques and methods of making the sake. This is the Dasai 50. The 50 stands for the polishing, which is a 50% polished away It's from Yamanashi, right? If I'm mistaken. Yamaguchi, rather.
Yeah.
Pretty close. So southern. It's got a little crisp quality to it, a little green apple notes and whatnot. But I mean, don't let me tell you. Let's just taste it
All right.
and enjoy it.
So what's the ideal temperature to drink?
The
sake
ideal
or-
temperature for sake, well, there's two ways you can go. You can do hot sake, which is what traditionally was used a few hundred years ago, and with certain sakes works out well. But for cold sake like this one's, about 54 degrees, 54, 55, that's ideal.
Okay.
Close to red wine, actually, a little colder than red wine.
Okay.
And you can always play with the temperature and hides certain things or enhances others, texture and aromas wise and stuff. What do you think, Laura?
It reminds me of cucumbers. Like very refreshing, like cucumbers, a green apple, a lot of those green notes to it.
Yeah, it's got a fragrance. It kind of jumps at you in the glass, right? It's
It kind of smell like pineapple.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
definitely pineapple, cucumber. It's like a spa day. And the quality in the palate is it's there. It's round, it's viscous, it's got a little tingly, nice acid to it. Pretty fun. I would love to taste this one with the cantaloupe and I know with the melon, and I know how Laura loves melons.
My
So
favorite.
I'll let you try it first.
Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm. That was a pretty tasty melon, I gotta say.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It brings out the acidity of the sake. It makes it a little more crisp.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely get more of the pineapple out of it and the tropical qualities.
It enhances the ride, right? It's
Yeah.
like pretty smooth and.
But I bet it would be really good with salty food or spicy food too.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So fun. I mean, Dasai 50, otherwise known as the Otterfest, which is the name for this specific sake, which we won't argue. Right? And we'll try one more. And please, if you guys have any questions, sake-wise or anything on procedures, as you mentioned, the temperature, we're all learning. And sake, it's a new thing, relatively new for all of us in our lives. So it's fun to learn a little more and have questions.
When you said it was polished, or well, I don't
Oh,
quite
cool.
think that means.
So if you see a grain of rice, the husk, sake is made by polishing the rice away, the rice kernel.
Okay.
So it relatively, the more you polish and end up with the heart, which is called a shimpaku, the closest you get to that, the cleanest, delicate, feminine style you get into the sake. So the least you polish away, it's the most terroir driven, if you will, more broad shoulders and a little more masculine in a way.
So would you say the first one was less polished than the second one?
Actually, no. Surprisingly, they polished more on the first one, but it's just a lot to do with the quality of the water or the region.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's pretty a direct correlation, and the rice as well that they use, because there's a few different strains of rice that carry different qualities with them. Yeah, and the yeast as well. I mean, local yeast against another yeast that they use, they don't disclose, but the aromas are enhanced by the yeast a lot.
Okay.
So there's no way of telling from the bottle what they're really going to taste like.
Not really. It's tough, and that's why we do this, and that's why we encourage you guys to try different things at home and share with us through the website or email or whatnot. And it's exciting. It's not what you expect. Like if you say a bottle of wine, you buy a Rutherford Cab, you expect that dusty, big, rich quality, right? Mm-hmm. You know what you have. Sake, they're all
a surprise, or
exactly for the most part clear.
Like a bakucha.
Exactly. But the cool thing is that you're still learning polishing and techniques, and definitely there's a junmai or junmai ginjo, a dai ginjo, or whatever it is, and you start expecting different qualities from it. So you're not totally blind.
So are cantaloupe and pecans normally what you would want to eat with?
Absolutely not. No, but we like to push the envelope. In previous shows, we actually, you can ask Susan, we have paired housecured meats and stuff like that we do at the restaurant What else have we done crazy? We've done peaches. We've done meats.
Fruit, yeah. But at the restaurant, what would you pair with either of these?
Well, with the taketsuyu, I would probably do a blue skin, saba or a sardine or something like that, like sanma.
Okay.
With the dasai 50, a little more cleaner, like a hirame or a fluke or something like that, a clean white fish. Maybe a chutoro even, because with the acidity you can cut through the fattiness of the fatty tuna, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
As far as like different dishes, I mean, you can do the yellowtail pastrami we do at the restaurant, which is like crusted with togarashi. It has a spicy quality with the takenotsuyu. This one would be a little cleaner, so you do like a sashimi, like Caesar salad or whatnot. But yeah, you can apply it to pretty much any cuisine.
What about you, Chef? Well, you're both from Mexico. What Mexican food would you pair with these?
Well, for sure, spicy food.
Spicy food.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe you can do tacos too. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe
Tacos.
pastor.
Yeah, pastor totally
With
with
the
this baby.
with the pineapple though, right? And
Yeah,
because
on
that's
top. Yeah.
with the dasai 50 would probably be pretty cool.
That can be good.
Yeah.
Or
Some red pork tamales.
yeah,
With a
tamales.
little sauce. Yeah, and the doughiness of it will
Yeah.
just play well with the dish. It's my guess. I don't know.
Right.
We should go down to
Prepare
Mexico with some sake.
Yeah. Next
Yeah.
time I cook Mexican, you
Blending
bring the
cultures.
sake.
Exactly. And then we have a party.
Yeah.
Definitely. Cool. So, any other notes in this sake?
As it warms up, it gets more like bubble gummy, like and the tropical and the fruitiness of it comes out.
Yeah, you do get a little roundness and little. I don't know. It reminds me of a candy. Here, I'll put it over.
You're so good at describing them. Every time you taste them, I'm like, that is what it smells like.
Kind of smells like
That is what it tastes
bazooka
like.
show bubble gum, but in the best way.
It does
Like, I
have
never would have thought of saying that, but now that you say it, it's totally true.
It does have a little bit of that.
Confectioner sugar or whatever it is like Bazooka Joe. Not the grape, the original.
Totally.
Yeah.
So there you have it. If you like bazooka gum, you most likely would want to go for a Dasai 50 Otterfest. At your closest retail shop. Speaking of that, at the restaurant at Morimoto in Napa, we're starting a sake tasting bar in a couple weeks. We've always done retail, but we're actually doing more descriptions. Speaking of a buy and blind, actually I made some cards with descriptions that anybody can relate. I like to relate it a lot to wine. So some of the sakes have a very clear, let's say this one is similar to a Viognier in a way, where it has the aromatics, the viscosity, the tropical notes. But it's just fun to make it something familiar, rather than just saying Tokubetsu Namagenshu Junmai Daigenchu. I was like, what? Like, no, I'll stick to the Chardonnay.
Yeah. All of a Sapporo.
Exactly. That's the easy way out.
So would you, like, if you were to order a glass of sake in a restaurant as like a pairing with your food, would you get like the same pour, like the same size pour, or what would be like?
So
can be just the whole bottle.
Or they,
yeah, no, they're small bottles, 300 ml. Sake usually is designed to drink in a smaller glass. Traditional is called a choco, which is a ceramic glass with circles inside. However, the way we put it at the restaurant is in a small, almost shot glass, if you will, a little curved. And we do about 2.5 ounces.
So why are we using wine glasses?
Because you can definitely enhance the notes. Yeah, I personally love drinking it out of wine glasses.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah.
The full bouquet, you get to swirl it a bit, which is something you do with wine or sake, not with spirits. But it's fun. It's just like enhances a little more. Okay. And we're in wine country. We're all more familiar with wine glasses, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Definitely.
Sorry, I have way too many questions.
No, we love that. That's because you know what? Maybe 2,000 other people that are viewing us right now have the same question.
10,000.
10,000. So very exciting. Any more closing notes on this sake?
Let's taste it. This is one of my favorites. I've had this before, and they make the Dasai 23 as well, right?
Yeah,
where
which
they mill it even
the
further.
most you can polish the grain of rice. That is definitely ambitious and very, very good. It's like blueberries and acid. And
would you say they have a house style? So if you see Dasai at a menu, they're always going to be this really like purity of fruit.
I see it as a very complete sake. It always has that roundness. Actually, it carries through all other sakes except for their nigori, the little bubble gummy.
Oh,
In
really?
the second sip, yeah. Just pretty funny.
That's cool.
Yeah, pretty good stuff. And as I said, those guys are always innovating. They're just like the Antinoris of Japan. They're just pushing the envelope and getting it out there, doing their best they can with the product. And I'd like to quote Didier and say this one poolside would be pretty fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Didier?
There's not much he doesn't drink poolside, though, no?
Now let's try a nigori. We often we've done a couple of nigoris in the show. This one's different. This one's called rihaku, and it's lower lees that you usually see in a nigori. Pretty fun. I like to think it's like a little higher acid, playful, more elegant style, because you can find the regular nigoris at the mom and pop shop, and it's gonna be like a custard, right? It's got all this like horchata water.
Yeah.
Like this one, it's on the lighter side of the
horchata.
skin. Yeah.
So
You can
do
definitely-
they filter it a little bit?
They do filter a little bit lees out of the sake, unlike other ones that leave most of it in there.
How polished is this one?
This one's about 40%, if I don't recall wrong. The last time I checked.
Okay.
Yeah, for nigori, it's a very small percentage of production as Japan exports or sends to other countries. Very small. And actually, Japanese drink a little bit of nigori, very minimal. It's mostly made, guess what, for the American market, which are the biggest fans of nigori in the world. So, yeah, pretty exciting. What do you think?
It's lighter than I would expect it to be on the palate, and it has acidity.
Mm-hmm. I like the nose. I don't know if you guys can relate, but there's a little barnyardy to it.
A little bit.
Just a touch.
It's stronger than the other one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. You get a little more of the alcohol quality to it. And let's see if it has more alcohol, actually. 15.5. 16 to 17, so no. That's not the point. And 14.5.
What do you think, Lauren? Tell me what I'm tasting.
It smells like wild blueberry.
That's why I bring her. That's why I bring her everywhere.
It kind of smells like I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going with that bubble gum here, but it's just like winter fresh bubble gum. There's like a little bit of a mint quality to it, or like a eucalyptus. Back to
refreshing. And
pandas, they don't eat eucalyptus.
Maybe that's what makes it feel a little stronger. You know, when you pop a
or like a Vicks Vapor Rub, how it has that that feeling when you breathe it in.
It does not taste like Vicks Vapor Rub.
No, not at all.
It has that,
don't be scared.
It has that mint. I think there's a minty quality to it that you feel
a more powerful.
Yeah.
So looking at the color, you can tell like the quality or...
No, actually, it's very deceiving with sake because the color, this one obviously has the leaves, it's unfiltered, but as I said, there's more different grades of unfiltering, and all you can expect by looking at a glass like this is thinking it's going to be a full, rich style, but it's not going to be creamy per se. Like, there's different kinds of horchatas, right? As we can relate. There's some that they filter a little more and whatnot. And it's just a direct correlation.
Just know what horchata is. I had to learn. I learned this year too.
Is this a dumb question?
No, horchata.
Not at all.
I don't even know what it
better.
Yeah.
How do you make it?
Horchata is made from, you can do it with rice, and it's kind of like a beans. We call it horchata. And then you soak it in water, and then you blend it, and comes the water like this color.
So horchata could be like unbrewed sake?
Yeah, pretty much. It's rice.
Well,
I mean, there's a little cinnamon. And
it's not an alcoholic beverage.
So it never goes to
unfermented.
Unfermented rice water.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's sweet. They sweeten it?
And then,
Sugar.
Oh, wait,
Yeah.
I've had it. I'm sorry. Yeah, I've had it. Now that you say that, I didn't know the word for it.
the tradition is once you have it on your glass, they put on top cinnamon, ground cinnamon.
So you get the kind of holiday spirit to it.
Yeah.
We're so bad at Spanish.
Anyway, that's proof that you learn everything in this show.
This show.
Not just sake, not just shochu.
The language experience.
Everything.
Culture experience.
Exactly.
That's right.
Now, I don't know if you guys want to venture out and see which one we want to taste with this one. I have a feeling that, let's try with this one first, but I have a feeling that it's going to reach out and actually pair well with the pecan stew. That's just my guess. So let's prove it. To the melon.
What am I tasting, Lauren?
That's cantaloupe. It's pretty ripe, sweet. I think
it's a pretty good pair.
It fills the holes of the sake. Like where the sake is a little bit rough, this one kind of fills the gaps. The
Wait, hold on.
fills in there.
Take a sip right now. I feel like I tasted something.
You get the spike of the acidity, but the sweetness of the fruit kind of balances it. Beverage professional.
I knew it was something.
Right?
I wasn't sure.
It's good. It's like they met and they became best friends and they just went out for a walk holding hands. Pretty fun.
It tames it.
It does.
Like a good couple.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
What was your favorite? Having very little sake experience. Which would you go?
Why would you say that? I feel like.
Which would you go in? Which would you go into a restaurant or a store and pay for?
The second one.
The second one.
Yeah,
that's
like
50. Yeah.
You definitely get obviously price-wise, it's probably the most expensive, or it is.
Fancy.
But you also get you get what you pay for, totally, right?
Yeah.
I mean, not that one of them's better than the other one, but it's direct. Now, I think
and
that I always like to.
In death, I feel.
There you go. I think that I always like to say about sake, it's that it's directly correlated into the craftsmanship. So the more you put into the actual product, the more you charge. For 90% of the sake production, you're not gonna get overcharged for something. So it all different prices depending on the method, pretty much.
H&M or Chanel. I mean, it's not the same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Correlates.
But none of them.
I'm not saying that.
None of them spend time in barrel. Like it's not time. It's just the process, the labor,
just the polishing,
and the process.
And the method that the brewery uses. Chef, what do you think of the pecan with the pairing?
I like it, but I prefer it with the
melon.
The melon. Yeah, balance more.
Very exciting. Laura, you try it with the pecan?
How did you get so into sake? You're from Mexico. Okay.
That's why.
Where in Mexico?
That doesn't explain at all.
It's like rice.
Rice has always been part of my diet. I don't know. I mean, I was lucky enough to. I had sake when I was growing up.
I've had too much sake.
At the mom and pop's places, but I got lucky enough to land a job with Chef Morimoto and help him out, and learned a lot through that. It was like opening this door where everything was in colors, and sake became a part of me. I mean, I love wine, and we cannot live without wine. And we drink wine every other day, and it's part of our imprint, right? But sake definitely it's like stepping into another dimension. There's so many pairings and different levels of sake that you can try and play with, which is pretty exciting. I think the thing that I love most about sake is that you'll never stop learning about it. There's always an extra step, and same with wine, right? I mean, nobody's ever gonna know everything about wine, even Master Sons, which we're going for that hopefully soon. But with sake, it's like the unknown. It's like it's a whole different culture, and when you're learning about the sake, about the production, you learn about the culture as well, which is it's a great enrichment.
Are there sake productions in California?
There are actually. There's one in Berkeley, and there's another one in Hollister.
Because I know, I remember taking road trips with my family, and there's rice fields out by, on the way from here to Sacramento.
Exactly.
Yeah,
in the Delta and all that, and They actually produce some really good rice, very comparable to the Japanese rice.
Okay.
However, some of the brewers here, they do bring the rice from Japan. And
oh,
some
do they?
just local.
Okay.
Yeah. So that one, there's nothing that tells you that you can't bring the rice from somewhere else. Even in Japan, you can be in a southern prefecture and buy the sake rice from the north.
Well, that's true of grapes as well. I mean, they...
Exactly.
Yeah. So have you tasted American sakis on the show before, or is that something that you haven't really gotten into yet, or is it something that you're not even into?
Oh, I definitely, we embrace American sake. It's fun that they're doing it here. It's just, personally, in my list at the restaurant, I don't have any yet. Not that they're bad or good, it's just a preference, and just following what chef's vision is. And maybe at some point, we did our sake course certifications. We tasted some sakes from Texas, some from Oregon.
Oh, wow.
And actually, surprisingly enough, the sake from Texas tasted like ribs, like smoked. It was pretty exciting.
You pair it with baked beans and you're good to go.
Exactly. It's like a true Texas diet. But, I mean, all joke aside, there is some pretty good stuff being produced locally. I mean, the water's different, the rice is different,
well, and
and whatnot.
Hundreds of years of tradition I catch up to, right?
Absolutely.
Well, the same could be said as well as the California wine.
For wine, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, but
and it could be, and definitely could be argued about California wine standing up to French wine.
Some would say.
Some would say.
Not I.
Not to a local Napa.
What else do you think, guys? Question-wise and everything. It's been really fun. It's good to meet new people and get to share some fun drinks with. And
I feel like
tasting.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. It's exciting. We should do this more often then.
Yeah.
Every other day.
I learned so much today.
It's cool. I mean, I think that's what everything is. If you don't learn something each day, it's almost like a wasted day, right?
Yeah.
Enjoy it. I've never tasted this one. I learned a lot about it today. It's fun, and to taste it with you guys was even better. It's like we have a fun show.
Well, thanks for sharing it with us.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, a pleasure.
Really appreciate it.
No,
It was really nice to be a part of it.
This was a lot of fun, and thanks to Didier and Susan and ToutSuite and all the cool things they're doing. And we'll see you guys very soon next month. And cheers or kampai.
Kampai.
Cheers.
Kampai.
Cheers, guys.
Kampai.
Enjoy.